selection plan today, and we will start by outlining some of the bigger changes that we'll be doing and making to our process, and then we'll open up for some questions. First we'll get into our plan. In 2020, the Nevada State Democratic Party is creating a unique Nevada caucus process, one that reflects how Nevadans vote and also the communities that we live in. We are focused on operating in a fully transparent manner and also working to execute a successful caucus convention process that will help maintain our competitive advantage and also build upon the historic gains that we made in 2016 and 2018. Our new delegate selection plan will ensure 2020 is Nevada's most expansive, accessible, and transparent caucus yet. So this includes adding in-person early voting, the option for virtual caucuses, public reporting raw vote totals, and also we have an opportunity for multiple languages for our Spanish, Tagalog, and also in English to reflect our growing diversity here in the state. As you know, early voting is a staple in Nevada, and it provides those without the ability to attend and participate on election day the convenience to vote for our primary goals in drafting this new is to offer every Nevada Democrat the opportunity to make their voice heard. One way we hope to achieve this is by expanding upon caucus day to include 4 days of in-person early voting, making the process accessible for every Democrat. We will also offer Democrats who are unable to attend in person, such as active duty military or those with disabilities, 2 days in which they can participate in our virtual caucus. Our plan to increase transparency is public reporting raw vote totals by candidate and also ensuring we have a process to execute a recount or recanvass if it is necessary. So overall, we're updating our caucus process to better suit our unique community of Democrats by tailoring it to Nevadans. And that includes expanding our bilingual preference cards to trilingual, now include Spanish again, Tagalog, and English, to reflect our growing AAPI community. Maintaining the tradition of hosting at-large strip caucus locations and utilizing locations across our diverse communities. Introducing new methods of participating that go beyond traditional days and hours so that our hospitality workers and single parents will have the opportunity to have their voice and their vote counted. So starting today, we're going to be accepting public comment to get feedback from the Democratic community, and on May 3rd, we'll get our plan back to the DNC. We all know how important Nevada's First and West Caucus will be in 2020, and we're confident that we will elect the nominee who will be Donald Trump in the general. So now we'll open it up for questions, and we'll go from there.
Quick point of clarification: the virtual caucus is open to anybody, not just people who are serving overseas or
Yes.
are homebound, right?
Yes.
Anybody can choose that option.
Yes.
Okay. The virtual caucus, we still don't know if it's going to be an app or a website or what that form will look like.
Yes, we're still, a year out from it, so we're still working through what that's going to be, and we'll be.
A question. I noticed that you mentioned a lot about transparency in this election cycle. Back in 2016, there was a lack of faith in some supporters, some progressives, and those who felt that Bernie Sanders' camp was just done wrong. What do you guys plan to do to make changes, specifically at your level, at the state level, where you do have some control over that?
Well, thank you for the question. And our goal, as you already heard, is to make sure that we have a high level of communication, which will also increase transparency and also provide those with concerns from the past to have the, to have the security knowing that the Nevada State Democratic Party is operating in a manner, again, that is fair, transparent, and also open. So you will see a lot of different changes, and you will, obviously hear a lot of positive feedback.
Yeah, and to our chairman's credit, when he got elected in 2017, the first thing that he did was make sure that we sat down with different groups across the state and had in-person, face-to-face conversations with Democratic activists and voters from 2016 to make sure they felt like we heard and knew their feedback and advice moving forward. We also created the Caucus to Convention Committee, which was one of the first committees that our chairman created, to make sure that we were still soliciting that feedback from our Democratic community, about the caucus to convention process. And so we take all of those concerns and feedback and feel like this new process that we're laying out today reflects, to William's credit. I think with the success we had on election day in 2018, you can see that Democrats came together because we had historic wins up and down the ticket.
Just one follow-up question. Would you mind going into a little bit of the caucus community engagement committee? Because I feel like that kind of works along with that.
The Community Engagement Committee. Okay, so the purpose for that is to make sure that we have individuals who are sitting, at the table who are going to offer many different perspectives on how to engage the community, how we need to communicate with, each of the different diverse groups. And as you can see, based upon the list that we have for our Community Engagement Committee, it's very expansive. I mean, we have folks from the Ethiopian community, AAPI community. I mean, all over. So the feedback that we're going to receive from the Community Engagement Committee is going to better our process, better inform us here at the state party, and make sure that we're continuing to build upon the success that we had in 2016, 2018, and again, when we get to 2020, we're going to elect a candidate that's going to be Donald Trump in the general.
To follow up on the last question, it seemed like one common point of confusion for both voters and activists was the allocation of pledged delegates. That, there was a pool of delegates from caucus day results, but then another pool of delegates who weren't allocated till the state convention. I was looking at this, at the draft this morning, and it appears that that will change this time, that all the pledged delegates will be allocated based on the caucus day results. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
And are you hoping the confusion and letting voters know that, the votes they cast caucus day will fully count?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the national delegate allocation is locked at the first determining step, which is our precinct caucuses on February 22nd, 2020.
Are the superdelegates still true superdelegates? Do they vote however they want to? Are they bound in any way to vote somewhere?
So the automatic delegates that exist in Nevada, that is a process that lives under the DNC, and that's a change that the DNC made. So I would follow up with the DNC and what the process is for automatic delegates heading to the national convention.
Yes.
Could you speak on the early hiring of Shelby Woods?
Who is here? This is Shelby.
Hi, Shelby.
Yeah, our chairman and I both are so excited that Shelby's on the team, and we wanted her today to introduce everybody to her. Shelby was our field director in 2018 and led a fearless, tenacious team in 2018 to win across the state. So we are incredibly lucky to have her on our team again to lead our team in our effort to have a successful caucus in 2020.
And was there a reason to bring her on so early compared to?
Yeah, I think bringing on Shelby as early as we did is an additional commitment to us, making sure that this process is as open, transparent, heading into 2020. And so by being able to bring her on earlier, and I think potentially earlier than ever, I think demonstrates that commitment.
I noticed that that under the new plan, the preference cards will also be offered in Tagalog. Are there plans either in this upcoming cycle, depending on what kind of input you get, or possibly in future cycles, you'll introduce preference cards in additional languages such as Mandarin Chinese or Vietnamese?
So that's a great question, Andrew. And the goal for the party is to make sure that, as our community continues to become more diverse, we are the party that, focuses on opportunity, equality, and a better life for everyone. And that includes making sure that we can communicate with all of our voters. So to answer your question, that's yet to be determined, but you can, guarantee that as our community grows, we will make sure that we're communicating with voters, at
Any other questions? Okay, great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
All right.